viewers, and welcome to another edition of the Social Development Outlook for today, Tuesday the 2nd February 2021. I am your host, Clarissa Hanley. And just to remind you that this program is hosted and coordinated by the Communications Unit within the Ministry of Social Development. And at this point in time, we'll take our first break and we'll be right back.
Hi everyone, my name is Nayela Daniel and I have a very important message for you. Be safe, protect yourself and others, and practice social distancing.
Stay updated by following the Health Promotion Unit on Facebook and Instagram or contact us at 469-8010.
Well, I'm back, and to start off tonight's program, we'll take you to the Best Buy supermarket, where food vouchers were awarded to 2 athletes of the year.
Mr. Jamie Claxton, and of course we have the representative here for the umpires, the netball umpires here in Nevis, Ali Thompson. We have to also recognize our sponsor for this ceremony, the Best Buy supermarket. I think Best Buy is being represented here today. And of course, we are here at the Best Buy supermarket here in Charlestown. And of course, our honorees. Let me just extend, of course, well, even before I go to honorees, I want to recognize the media, of course, and of course, the person responsible for putting together this event, Mr. Curtis Morton, who is a sportscaster at the Nevis television station. And so let me just say good afternoon all. Okay, we are here this afternoon for a short but important ceremony. A ceremony to honor our sportsman and sportswoman of the year for 2020. And of course, both of those persons are represented here. As I would have indicated a while ago, that this event that we have to honor our sportsman and sportswoman for 2020 here at Nevis, this was, of course, organized and coordinated by Mr. Curtis Morton, who is a sportscaster at the Nevis television station, Department of Information. I believe that Mr. Morton would be in an excellent position to make a determination where this is concerned, and would be very fair in terms of judgment, because he would have covered the length and breadth of Nevis throughout 2020 despite the pandemic, to look at the different games, sporting games that we would have had, in netball, cricket, basketball, and so on. And so he would have come up with 2 persons, of course, sportsman, sportswoman. I believe that the 2 persons are very deserving persons of this award. And even before we come to the vote of thanks, I want to thank the Best Buy supermarket for sponsoring this initiative by you, Mr. Morton, for us to be honoring a sportsman and a sportswoman for 2020 in Nevis, of course, and to have this ceremony right here at the Charlestown Best Buy supermarket. And so, thanks again to all for coming to this ceremony. And before I go any further, let me just invite our Director of Sports here on Nevis, Mr. Jamie Claxton, to make some brief remarks. Mr. Claxton, please.
Good day to all. Chair, please permit me to adopt the protocol you so ably established. But I would like to recognize the presence of the Honorable Eric Evelyn, Minister responsible for sports in the Nevis Island Administration. As we all aware, 2020 was a very difficult year here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and sports also felt the effect of the pandemic. We had to cancel or postpone a lot of events for the majority of the year. However, despite the pandemic, we were able to get some competitions on the way. We were able to see some outstanding performances by teams and individuals, and we are here today to honor 2 of those individuals who shined brightest among the bright ones. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the sportsman and sportswoman of the year, who will be coming on stage later to receive the awards. But I would also like to take the opportunity to acknowledge and commend the organizer of this particular ceremony and this particular award here this afternoon, Mr. Curtis Morton of the Nevis Sports Page. This event is an endeavor of the sports page to honor the sportsman and sportswoman of the year. And for Mr. Morton to take on this initiative during a very difficult time, he should be commended and applauded for such. I also want to take this opportunity to express on behalf of the Department of Sports sincere gratitude to the Best Buy supermarket for coming on board and supporting this initiative. Best Buy continues to be one of the great corporate citizens here in Nevis. They are always contributing, especially in the area of sports development, and so they once again stepped up and they are showing the other private sector organizations, private sector businesses, that it is important to play a role in the development of the country, no matter how small, and in this case, sports. So once again, commendation to Best Buy Supermarket and the owners, staff, and so forth. Before I leave, I want to all those who are watching this, especially our young men and young sportswomen, that this is the type of thing you should aspire towards, being recognized for your outstanding performances on the field. But in order to get to this level, it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of discipline, it's a lot of determination, it's a lot of commitment. The persons who are being awarded here today is because they would have ticked all those boxes. And so the young men and young sportswomen who are watching, and even the parents who are in charge of them, these are the things they should be aspiring towards. And so I want to take this opportunity once again to congratulate the awardees and best of luck for your sporting endeavors in 2021.
Thank you very much, Mr. Claxton. I think well said, well put together. I believe the honorees should be feeling proud because it is very important for us to, award our sportsmen and women when they do well, when they excel. And this is exactly why we are here today, to pay tribute to the persons who would have excelled. And a lot of persons, as the director would have said, would have excelled, but these two individuals would have done exceptionally well, and that is why they were selected by Mr. Morton for the special awards. Now, at this point in time, we want to invite to make some remarks our Minister of Sports, Honorable Eric Evelyn. Put your hands together, please, for Mr. Evelyn.
Thank you very much, PS Glasgow. And let me also recognize the Director of Sports, Mr. Jamia Claxton, our representatives who will be receiving the awards, and of course the representative from the Best Buy supermarket. I want to join with the others in commending Mr. Curtis Morton for this initiative. When he called me, or when he spoke to me a couple of days ago and spoke to me about the initiative, I thought it was something that is very fitting. And of course, I don't think there's anyone more fitting to adjudicate on this matter than Mr. Morton, because wherever sports is being played on the island of Nevis, Mr. Morton is there. I don't know how he gets it done, but he's there practically for every sporting event that is happening on the island. And so, as Glasgow would have pointed out, he would have followed the sporting events, he would have followed the competitors, he would have followed the sportsmen and sportswomen. And so I believe he would have done an incredible job in coming up with who he thinks fits the bill to become the sportsman and the sportswoman of the year. I also want at this time to commend the sportsman and sportswoman of the year. You will hear who they are in a while, but I believe that they would have excelled at their particular sporting discipline, and I believe that they can be very proud today to receive such an award. Of course, as you would have heard as well from Jamir, sports, as everything else, took a hit this last year with the COVID, but I was very delighted and pleased when the COVID task force saw it fit to ensure that we continue to have sports. Sports is extremely important, and we are happy that through the instrumentality of the task force, through the efforts of the sporting organizations, through the efforts of the Department of Sports here on the island of Nevis, we were able to get sports back on the cards here on Nevis during 2020. And of course, we will continue to do that in 2021. So I want once again to commend the task force for your efforts, commend the department and all its sporting organizations to ensure that we have sports being played on the island of Nevis. So once again, high commendation to all who have been involved. And of course, I cannot exclude the Best Buy supermarket for partnering with Mr. Morton in this initiative. Of course, whatever we do on Nevis, in our ministry in particular, we always try to look partners. And it's good when corporate citizens like Best Buy could come on board and sponsor an initiative like this. So once again, commendation and kudos to the Best Buy supermarket for partnering with us and being the sponsor of this initiative. I want at this time to just announce who the two awardees are, and in the sportswoman category, the winner is Tashika Bowen, and she is a netballer. I would have seen her on the court at the Brownie Hillard court last year, and she was amazingly outstanding. And I think she played for the winning team. Yes, she played for the winning team. And I also want to congratulate the sportsman of the year as chosen by Mr. Morton, who is Mr. Kezron Archibald. And I'm particularly pleased that Kezron is receiving the award. Kezron would have been the recipient of some assistance from my ministry to go off to Jamaica, and he would have done a training, and he's back now, so he now has a bachelor's degree. And I'm also proud to say Kezron is a part of my club, the Empire Sports Club. So congratulations to Kezron, congratulations to Miss Bowen, and I will now ask the representative of Best Buy to join me to make the presentations.
Okay, as you would have heard from the Honorable Minister, the sportswoman is Tashika Bowen for 2020 here on Nevis, and the sportsman is Kezron Colin Archibald. In the area, of course, I think, well, he excelled in cricket. You would recall that he would have been called up for which team, Jamia? The St. Kitts Nevis Patriots for the and the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. Okay, yes, Kezron Archibald. And of course, the awardees would be receiving a food voucher for $200. A voucher for $200 to shop at any of the Best Buy supermarkets in Gingerland or in Charlestown, all right? As well as in St. Kitts. You know, you have a very wide choice.
We, the staff of Best Buy, would like to thank you guys to be a part of this opportunity and to congratulate the sportswomen and men of the year.
We have the sportswoman here, Tashika Bowen, and we want to really congratulate her for her exploits and for doing so well, for excelling in the tournament that we recently had for netball here on Nevis in 2020. That was organized by the Department of Sports and the Nevis Netball Association, and it was played in November and December in 2020. Congratulations, Miss Bowen.
Good afternoon, all.
Yes, good afternoon.
First, I have to thank God. If it wasn't for Him, nothing would be possible right now. I want to give a special thanks to the organization of sport of St. Kitts and Nevis. I'm so elated to be selected as the sportswoman of 2020. Such a tremendous feeling to be standing right on this platform right now. Thanks again to Best Buy for the voucher, and to all my supporters who stick around throughout the tournament, and to my team, Venomous Vixen, for the support from beginning to end. Thanks again.
Thank you very much, Miss Bowen. Well said. And now we will have the representative for Mr. Kezron Colin Archibald. His aunt is here, so he is well represented. I think he's out on an assignment with the Leeward Islands Hurricanes, and so he's well represented here today by his aunt, Miss Tasha Brown. And of course, as I would have indicated, he would have excelled in cricket. He was called up for the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, for the CPL, and he also plays for the Leeward Islands Hurricanes.
We now hear from the Sportsman of the Year.
Yes, we would now hear from the representative of the Sportsman of the Year for 2020 here on Nevis.
On behalf of Kesron, I would just like to say thank you to Mr. Morton for thinking of him in this way, and for the Ministry and Department of Sports for always supporting him in his attempts to achieve his goals. He couldn't be here right now because he's working on one of those goals, but I know that he would be extremely grateful for you for thinking of him and for Best Buy and joining with them in providing this support. So thank you very much to all of you.
Thank you very much, Tasha. I think you have represented your nephew very, extremely well. Okay, we are close to the end. I want to thank Best Buy for partnering, of course, with the Ministry of Social Development, the Department of Sports, and of course the Department of Information, and of course our communications unit is well represented here this afternoon. So this has been a collaboration between Best Buy and of course a number of our departments under the purview of the Ministry of Social Development. At this point, I will now call on the person responsible for organizing this short, small, but very important event, Mr. Curtis Morton, who is our sportscaster at the Department of Information, Nevis Television. Mr. Morton, put your hands together, please, for Mr. Morton. I think that he deserves a big round of applause for this initiative.
Good afternoon, everyone. Definitely, over the years, the Ministry of Sports, Department of Sports would have done Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year presentations, but it has been a little lacking in a couple of years. And so I just thought that people would have excelled and the initiative would be good to give them something to look forward to. And so I was wondering what we could give them. These are hard times. And I was thinking about a trophy. And then the thought came to me, trophies can't eat. Right, Ms. Bowen? Trophies can't eat. So the thought came to me to approach a supermarket so that we could get something. I wanted to go higher. I was thinking about $1,000. Where's the rep? I was thinking about $1,000 food voucher. But I said, maybe if I say 1,000, they will say no. So I'll start small, hoping that next year it could go up a little bit. So right away, I must say, Mr. Rudy Duggins said yes. And I want you all to give Mr. Rudy Duggins and his Best Buy supermarket a big round of applause for accepting to take this on. And I want to thank the ministry for the support. Minister Evelyn was very much on board right away. P.S. Glasgow and his whole office staff, they were very much on board. I want to thank them so much for being a part of it. But Minister, I want to throw out a challenge. I want to say next year, let it not be me. I would hope the ministry will take the initiative. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to be a 4 seasons event. You see where we end up? In Best Buy. You know, just show some appreciation, show some love in some small, meaningful way. And I'm sure, Ms. Bowens, you appreciate it, right? I'm sure they would appreciate it, whoever they are. And then, of course, it wouldn't be a one-man adjudication system. It would be like you put a team together and you look at all the stats and everything and you say, this is the person and so on. Right, so I'm throwing a little challenge out for the end of the year, hoping that the ministry will take it to another level and hoping that Best Buy would remain on board. But before I close, Ms. Bowen, I have an additional for you. It's something that was just thought of, and so I don't have this thing in my hand because somebody was to bring something here so I could give it to you and to Tasha. But here's what is happening. In recent times, I've been asked to be a representative of MASA, the Medical Air Services Association, which takes you out to the island in an emergency when seconds matter. And so I'm a representative of MASA. And I'm happy to say today that on behalf of MASA, I'm also presenting you 2 lunches at Buddy's. Yes, Tasha collects on behalf of Kesron.
We'll take our final break and be right back with our featured presentation for this evening. And I'm back for our featured presentation. We'll journey to the Golden Rock Inn where the celebration of Miss Brown's 90th birthday took place. We'll now view these clips.
Deputy Director Miss Joyce Movin and our Minister Honorable Eric Evelyn. And it gives us great pleasure to be here this evening to make this presentation to Miss Brown. As you all know, Miss Brown is a member of our group, and she's one of the persons who we can call on during our activities, especially the educational segment of it. She's always there. She's there through thick and thin. And I remember recently I was by the hospital to visit Miss Brown, and it's truly a blessing to be here with her tonight. Because when I saw Miss Brown late last year, I really thought she was going. But by the grace of God, she is here. And we just want to give God praise for 90 years for her. It is truly a blessing.
Good night, everybody. Thank you very much, Trudy. A special good evening to the lady of the hour, Mrs. Brown, looking as young as ever this evening. On your 90th birthday, is it 19 or 90? 90. Okay, I just had to make sure. Anyway, it's indeed a pleasure to be here. Of course, as Trudy would have mentioned and you would have heard from Vita, we from our ministry, once you reach certain milestones, we normally come to celebrate with you. And we are delighted to be here to celebrate with this very lovely, phenomenal woman, Mrs. Brown. And of course, I would have known Mrs. Brown even before I became the minister with responsibility for the seniors. And I've always admired her. I would call her a live wire. And of course, I think all of us would know that she's a live wire. And as Trudy would have indicated, when we have functions, she's always one to volunteer, to participate. You can always count on her. And when she goes up on stage, no one can take her down. She's just good at what she does, right? And I've always admired how pleasant, always smiling, and always greets you with a very nice word of encouragement. Of course, we know that she has made a very solid contribution to the development of Nevis. And of course, we know that she would have molded many, many lives, including the children, the grandchildren, the great, and of course, her career in teaching as well. And so, Mrs. Brown, we want to thank you for that great contribution that you have made to the development of Nevis. And of course, we know that your legacy is living on through your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren. They too are making a great contribution, and we want to thank you for that. And of course, we can't speak about Mrs. Brown unless we talk about her husband. Because beside every good man, there's a good woman. Beside every good woman, there's a good man as well. And he has been there to support her. I think they have been a great model of a wonderful family, always together. Wherever you see one, you see the other. And I believe that strong support that has been there has sustained them over the years. Mrs. Brown is a very resilient and strong woman. We know sometimes at one point she was very ill, and God has been good to her. I think God has been faithful and good to her and kept her for a reason. And so I want to congratulate you, Mrs. Brown, on reaching this milestone of 90. Some do not reach even 9 these days. And so we want to congratulate you for reaching 90. God has been good to you for a reason. And we hope that he will continue to be merciful to you, that he will continue to grant you good health. And we hope that you'll be around for many more. Take the singles an inch to the century. I know that you have a very supportive family, and may they continue to support you. I congratulate them for being always there for you and you being always there for them. And so on behalf of all of us at the Ministry of Social Development, we want to say a very happy 90th birthday to you. And may God continue to bless you. Happy birthday, we love you, and God bless you. And I want to just acknowledge the folks who are here with me, the Deputy Director, Ms. Joyce Movin, Trudy and Jamaica. And we are making the presentation of this plaque. And let me say what the plaque reads. The plaque reads, Social Services Department Certificate of Recognition is awarded to Lorraine Brown in recognition of your 90th birthday. And it is signed by the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Keith Glasgow, and the Director, Ms. Sandra Maynard, dated the 6th of January, 2021. And we are doing this in collaboration with the City Drugstore.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord and may the good Lord, may the good Lord bless you. Hip, hip, hip. Hooray! Hip, hip, hip. Hooray! Fill up your lungs. Last time. Hip, hip, hip. Hooray! Give yourselves a clap. Okay.
And that's our package for this evening. I am your host, Clarissa Hanley, wishing you a pleasant night's rest.